What is happening y'all? Jay here, back again with the Path of Exile 2 video, and this is the final boss in Act 1, which can be extremely challenging. So this is my boss guide to make your life much easier. So ready? Let's go! Now, when you first enter the arena, you want to start off by doing whichever attack you have based on your class, which takes some time to execute. So in my case, that's the earthquake. So I set that on the ground, and as soon as the animation ends, we get some good initial damage in. Now, in the first phase, he has a 3-move attack and it's quite easy to dodge, as you can see here. 1, 2 and 3. Again, you see him do the same 3-move attack, so roll and you wanna try and get that stagger meter high, and he's staggered. Now get some mega hits in. When he gets into that pose, he will send forth a beam of frost that will freeze you. So get behind and counterattack. Another attack is this, where his sword starts glowing and a V-shaped ice wall will form. You wanna dodge to the side and start attacking him as he ends his attack with a very slow animation. In this phase, you wanna try and get behind him as much as possible. This is the easiest of the 3 phases, so make sure you don't use any of your healing flask. At about half health is when it starts to get a little tricky as he turns into a wolf. Now, as opposed to phase 1, you wanna avoid staying behind him, cause he does that, and that dodge window is stupid fast, so you wanna try and be on the sides of the wolf. Like for instance, the ice breath. You wanna stay at the side and get some good damage in. Okay, when you see the wolf do this, where he basically stands up on 2 feet and slams his sword with his 2 hands onto the ground, you will see these patches of ice form, where you want to backtrack as much as possible and find a safe spot, cause you don't want to be standing on them when ice shards come out of it. Okay, next up, he's going to send forth beam of light from the ceiling. The best way to avoid this is by just moving around, cause it'll target where you stand. So as soon as the beam explodes for the first time, you want to start moving, as you'll try and get a lock on where you were standing last. Yeah, okay, the ice breath. When you see the wolf stand up like that and start turning red, it's gonna disappear and you wanna start running away from his last position and wait for it, roll. You wanna be out of his radius or else it's gonna hurt real bad. Okay, so here he slams his sword onto the ground. You know this, it's the patches of ice attack. So retreat and find a safe spot and wait for the shards to show up. Okay, this now is the most difficult move. So if you can master this, you can master this fight. And there is a trick here you need to use to counter him. So what you want to do is pay close attention to his speech. So as soon as he stops speaking, you want to start moving. 1, 2, roll. This right here has helped me defeat this boss with my different classes. And in between, make sure you use your AoE attacks to kill those pesky wolves. His attacks are very random, so when he comes back, he disappears. That means it's a dive bomb and roll. What he's doing now is the same beam attack, so keep moving and you will mostly avoid this attack of his. Also, I made this mistake here of staying behind him. So he does this 360-degree spin attack and it's god near impossible to dodge him. At this point, it's just rinse and repeat until he gets to the final phase where he has a one-shot stupid attack, the D&D, the disappear and dive attack. You wanna run as away from him as possible, which I didn't do and unfortunately got caught in that radius. He is staggered, so more damage. You really wanna go to town on him when he finally gets staggered. Also, it's harder to stagger him in the wolf state. You know these moves, so you know exactly what to do. Most of his moves are extremely choreographed, so learn the start animation and you can dodge most of his attacks. Okay, let's do this together. To start off, clear the crowd. Now listen.
Atlas empowered.
1, 2, roll.
Ezemir endured.
1, 2, roll.
All were devoured.
1, 2, roll.
Unending war.
1, 2, roll.
Waited at the door.
1, 2, roll. So that's exactly what you need to do. Sound up and just listen. So he comes back and starts off with the ice shards attack. We know what to do by now. And at this point, we are waiting for his final third phase and his most deadliest move. I made the mistake of standing behind him here and paid the price. Anyways, very close to a stagger now, and you wanna throw the kitchen sink at Geonor, the Putrified wolf. Dive bomb attack, roll. So we have finally entered the third and final phase, and we have to be careful of that one move. The ice shards attack followed by the ice breath attack, very standard. But what we are really waiting for is that one attack, and how you know it's coming, you ask? Well, he will hold up his sword high with both hands and a beam of blood and ice will blast onto you. Best way to avoid it is just by running around the arena and roll when the beam is too close to you. So that's about it. You managed to end Act 1 in PoE 2, and bigger, badder challenges await you, and I'll be putting out boss guides for all of them. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.